Okay, you guys, so we are back with episode 2, and today we're talking what it's like being an influencer nowadays.
Yes, and all sizes included, micro, nano, large scale. We're covering all of it.
Yes, so while we're here, let's just address what being a nano influencer is, what's being a micro influencer, and what classifies you as like a major influencer. So I'm going to pull up Google and we're going to pull up what a micro influencer is.
A nano, and
Yeah.
of course, the bigger influencers.
Okay. So in the article from tribegroup.co, they asked, what the hell is a micro influencer? And it's someone who has over 3,000 followers on Instagram. So, thus meaning that you're a nano influencer if you have like over 1,000, which that is where Mia and myself fall on Instagram. Right now,
We're,
I'm sitting at just shy of 1,500 followers on
I
Instagram.
think I'm at like 1,100 on Instagram.
So we are considered nano influencers on Instagram. However, your girls have popped off on TikTok and we are considered micro influencers on TikTok.
We upgraded ourselves on
Yes,
TikTok.
we upgraded on TikTok. Now, what does that even mean? Like, what does being an influencer for you mean?
I don't know, it's such a hard question. Like, I'm thinking about it right now. You don't really understand like the power that you have, but like I think it's different for the scales. Like obviously we're nano and micro. So as like an influencer, I just think it means that I have an obligation to give my opinion and advice on specific things, knowing that what I have to say is going to impact a certain amount of people.
I feel that. Like, I feel like me being a micro influencer, I feel like I'm for the people. Whereas
Yeah.
like bigger influencers, like your YouTube influencers like Jaclyn Hill and like Jackie Ina and Patrick Starr and like even Michaela at this point, I feel like their obligation is to the brands, whereas with micro influencers and nano influencers, our obligation is to our consumer, our fans, our followers who we consider friends. And so, like,
Yeah.
I feel like that's the biggest difference between being a nano influencer slash micro influencer versus being like a big influencer, if that makes sense.
Yeah. And you see the progression. You see everyone go through that where they start out for the people and then they start making money or whatever. And it's more about conducting business and selling than anything else.
Yeah, I feel that. And then like so like for me personally, I've monetized my Instagram. I've monetized my TikTok. So I make money off of my craft. Like, so it's not like whenever you start making money, you have to like be for the brand. And so, like, I make it very clear when I accept sponsorships, I accept ads, I take payment for posts. I make it very clear that if I don't like your product, I'm not going to lie. Like, I'm not going to be like out here, like, this product is so bad. I wouldn't say that. I would just simply say, like, this product didn't work for me. Here's why. And like that is what being an influencer for me means.
Yeah, because obviously it might work for someone else. I am just starting to monetize thanks to you. We're starting out there. Um, I'm very cautious about who I choose to work with. Like I call Brittney sometimes and I'm like, hey, we got a brand in here I'm not too sure of, and we kind of talk it out. And if it's not something that fits my brand, I won't go ahead with it because I do feel like I have an obligation to these people who support me and ask for advice, and I don't want to be just doing it for the money. That's kind of where I'm at.
No, I totally feel that. Like, I think when people hear the word influencer, I think they think that like everybody works for these brands and like everybody's getting paid for everything that they promote, when in reality, a lot of smaller influencers like ourselves, we put in our own money, and we don't see any return other than likes and views. Like that's the only return we see from us doing like influencing.
Yeah, it takes a very long time. There's not whole lot of people that can just jump in and start monetizing. It's hard work. You have to put your money in to get your makeup first, and you just have to build off of that until working with brands kind of falls in your lap. Like it's a process.
Yeah, no, I totally feel that. Like I've spent thousands of dollars, and like
I
because
agree.
yeah, and like because we're not making, good money off of this, we can't actually claim it on our taxes. So it really truly is a loss at this point. And like I think that's what nobody talks about when it comes to being an influencer, is that when you are a micro or a nano influencer, the money that you lose, like air quotes around lose, is so vast because you're not being sent product. You're buying
Nope.
product at every single launch. And, granted, like for me, when a product doesn't work for me, I take it back. I get my money back because I'm not going to keep a product that doesn't work. But even then, like it's not like you're getting that money back. You're turning around and buying new product. So
Yep. It's quite a lot, and people always ask, like, you have so much makeup, but if you really think about it, if you want to stay competitive, you need to be on top of trends. You need to be testing out things. You need to be finding dupes, and the only way you do that is buying and testing out all of these products. So you're just sit with so much makeup that you're investing in, and no one really talks about that, because how else are you going to make a name for yourself if you're not buying or creating?
exactly. And so I feel like that is why we're talking about this. That's why we're bringing this up. Like, what does it truly mean to be an influencer these days? Because I think when people hear beauty influencer or whatever your niche is and then put influencer behind it, one, there's like this like negative connotation with the word influencer, like everybody who's an influencer is a sellout. And then they think that all being an influencer is just posting pictures or posting like quick 30-second videos on social media, and that is not the case. Let me
No.
make that very, very, very clear. Being an influencer is more than posting pictures.
It's a full-time job. There is a stigma around influencers because they think, oh, you're getting paid. First of all, if you put influencer, people think you're getting paid a lot, which is not usually the case unless you're really up there with your follower count. So majority of us are not making a ton of money, but also the hours that are put in are crazy to the amount that we're making. We're taking a loss and we're losing hours. Like,
No, I feel that. Like I work, so like I am a full-time student, so I go to school 40 plus hours a week, and not really. So like I put in about 40 plus hours for school. And then on top of that, I am student teaching. So I'm putting in hours there. I'm doing at least 20 hours a week student teaching. At least that was what it was. And then I come home and do a full time job of like influencing, because there's research that goes into marketing, there's research that goes into hashtags, there's research that
yep.
goes into how to make the perfect caption, there's research into how to correctly put alternative text on a photo, on a video. There is the editing process. There's the actual application process, filming that. Like it takes me 30 minutes just to set up filming equipment.
Yep, and that's what, like, it's honestly crazy how long it takes, and no one ever talks about it. It's not like you put your phone down and you're now an influencer, because for some reason, specifically when we do our makeup, it takes me about 30 to an hour extra if I'm filming my content for some reason. I don't know why, because I'm always concerned about shots and stuff. Like,
Yeah.
it's crazy. And it's honestly, it's hard work. I'm the same way. I just finished a degree. I was working two jobs. Because at this point, most influencers our size cannot afford to be full time in what we do. We're not making any money. We need to work. We need to get an education. So
Yeah.
we're basically doing our full time jobs or going to school and adding a second one onto it. It is exhausting. And for most of us, we're just pushing through because we love it and it's something we're passionate about, and we're hoping that our hard work pays off.
Yeah, that 100%. I feel that in my core. But in addition to that, like I miss out on family events because like it's not like you can just post a picture or post a video and like leave it. Like no, you have to go engage on other people's posts, and then on top of that you need to be replying to people who are posting on the post that you
Yep.
just posted. Like there's so much to it. It's not like you can just post and like dip and be like, "Oh, I posted my picture. Peace." And then on top of that, you're like constantly checking analytics. Like, did I post this at the right time? Like, should I have waited 30 minutes? Should I take this post down because it's not doing as well? Like, should I re-upload it later? Like, there's so much that goes into being an influencer outside of posting pictures that really it's so frustrating when people are like, oh, so you post pictures and videos of yourself doing makeup on the internet?
Yep. My parents never understood, and I'm up to like I was Brittany saw yesterday to like 4 a.m. to get my stuff done. I'm up till 4 a.m. We were up at 8:30 today. I had like 4.5 hours of sleep because I had to film a look and I was late to a family event because so then I was late getting home, which means I still had to edit. And like algorithms are constantly changing. So we need to now be aware of what times we need to post, what we need to post, what days we need to post. Like it gets crazy. It's not just like, oh, I need to post a story and I'm going to get like 100 followers. It's
Yeah,
not how it works anymore.
that, yeah, most definitely. And then like now that social media is shifting from picture content to video content, like there's so much more that goes into posting a video than there is to posting a picture. Like when I take pictures of a look, I'm taking from anywhere from 50 pictures to 100 to 150 pictures
Yeah.
of a look, just because I need to make sure that one, I get the shot for the post for that day, and then two, like to be able to have content for like stories to promote that post. And then not only that, but like if I want to do a throwback Thursday, or if someone says, oh, I really like that content that you made, do you have any pictures that aren't on the internet that I can purchase the rights to, like that you have extra pictures that you can sell basically.
And not to mention, sometimes those pictures don't work out. So half those pictures, like, and not to mention, we're critical of ourselves. So if my
Yeah,
eye is like halfway closed a little too much, I'm not using that picture. I need to go through another 10.
yeah, no, I feel that. And then
And to
you
give
get,
some background,
yeah.
like Brittany knows the algorithm inside and out. Like for, I don't know if you want to speak on that, but like if we're talking about social media, specifically Instagram, Instagram isn't what it used to be. You can't just grow
So
and
like
like you go for it.
when in like so with Instagram specifically, you you're not going to get, people aren't following influencers on Instagram off of pictures anymore, because a picture can't do what a video will. So, yeah, you can think a picture is pretty, but outside of just liking that picture, it's not going to make you gain new followers. What's going to make you gain new followers on Instagram specifically is video content. So, reels, stories, IGTVs, and like now that Instagram has added all these features, a part of their algorithm is that you need to use all of their features. So, like, it's not enough just to post a story anymore. You have to post an interactive story. So you've got to put a poll or a question, or one of the sliding bars, or you need to use an Instagram sticker, or you need to geotag your story. Like you can't just post a story that says, "Hey guys, I woke up today. I washed my face. Here's the product that I use." Like you now have to do so much just to do a story. And then when it comes to posting a picture on Instagram, you've got to do hashtag research. You've got to find the best time. Don't post during your peak hours, post an hour before your peak hours, because that way you can build momentum. Not to mention, if you're posting a reel, like, are your hashtags working? You can't check analytics on reels.
Nope.
So you have to just kind of go with your gut and like say, okay, this is when my reel did really well the last time. I got over 1,000 views. Let me post it at this time again. Let me use hashtags that are specific to my niche, that are specific to this post. And then now
It's
Instagram,
really guesswork.
yeah,
You're
it really
guessing.
is. Like it 100% is guesswork, and nobody talks about that. All they see is that people have hundreds of thousands of followers and millions of followers and like, oh, that's easy. But nobody tells you that instead of hanging out with your family on a Saturday, you get up at 8 o'clock and you're literally filming and taking pictures and all this stuff from 8 a.m. to like 4 p.m. in the evening. And then, you know, you still have to post pictures, you still have to interact during that time. And
Edit
like,
content. And not to mention, that's just Instagram. Each platform has a different algorithm that you need to learn and figure out. So while you might think you have Instagram down, you can't do what you're doing for Instagram on TikTok. It's not going to work for you.
nope.
So you got to figure out each individual platform. So to normal people who aren't doing this, it looks like, oh, we're posting a video, or like, oh, Instagram added like a new feature, yay. To us, we need to make sure we're utilizing every single function of all of these platforms in order to even give us a chance of success. And even if you do that, you're not guaranteed to get these
Yeah.
followers.
And like, I want to make this like very clear. I don't want to be a Jaclyn Hill or a Jackie I know or even a Michaela. Like, I want to be big enough that I can afford to be an influencer, if that makes sense. Like, I'm going into education. Like, I'm going to get paid basically nothing. So like, I want to be a big enough influencer where one, I can give back to my followers and like do all that, and you know, be able to be like comfortable about spending thousands of dollars. Like, I mean, I literally just looked at my bank statement, and just this month alone I spent over $1,000 on makeup products. And like,
That's not even a flex. That, first of all,
yeah,
it's not even like a I can. It's like we're choosing not to buy other things to be able to fund what we're doing and to continue on.
yeah. And like, not that like being an influencer is like this thing that I aspire to be. Like, I didn't wake up one day and be like, oh, I want to be an influencer. Like, I really do have a passion for this. And so like, I'm not like, me specifically, I am not one of those makeup artists who does like these crazy like face painted looks. Like, I'm very much a traditional makeup artist. And so like, I'm having to compete against special effects artists and people who can face paint, like do a whole freaking picture on one eyeball or on their lips. Like, I'm competing against that. So
Yep. That's the thing. We have to stay competitive with our own stuff. So people are starting to come out and you got to adapt. Like, I really am for that special effects and stuff like that. However, most social media platforms also don't favor that. So
yeah,
we're all trying to adjust and compete within each other. But like, it's kind of hard. Like, it's not oversaturated. And I do genuinely, if you love it, get into it. But don't do it because you think you're going to make a bunch of money, and don't do it because you think you're going to be the next Michaela. Because like, I don't aspire to be like, do I hope that I can help people? Yes. But if I was doing this for the money, I would have stopped a long time ago.
yes,
And I haven't.
I agree with that.
I love what I do. I've been doing this since I was 14. So I think I'm like pushing 9 or 8 years. I do it because I love it. I have a passion for it. And I've recently just started seeing minimum money. So if you're doing it to make money, it's a long road ahead of you, and you're in for the wrong reasons.
And then like, okay, so let's just kind of switch over really quick. Let's talk about like the business side of being an influencer, because this is the stuff that nobody tells you. So
Yeah.
if you haven't already trademarked your name, trademark it. If you have not already started an LLC for your brand, you might want to look into that, because that's where you're going to make your money. Because if that's what you're doing this for, if you're doing this for money, you need to be very business minded.
Yep.
Because right now, like, my brand name is in the process of being trademarked. Like, I'm in the process of trademarking my name as a brand. So Brit's Beauty Space is in the process of being trademarked. So that way no one else can use that. And if someone else does use that, I can, if they don't stop using it, I could sue them and get money that way. But
And
also,
let's be clear though, as well, that's also an investment that you need to be prepared to financially make.
yeah,
It's not as easy as like, oh, I'm going to trademark my name. You're going to put in however much wherever you live it costs to trademark your name.
yeah. And then like, so right now, like I said earlier, I'm not making enough money to claim all of the makeup that I buy as an expense, like a living expense. But however, when I become an LLC, even though my company would not be making any money, I could still write off all of the makeup that I'm buying, which is why you should make yourself an LLC. This is what the bigger influencers don't tell you. All of them are brands. Like, they are people first, but they are brands. Like Patrick Starr, like, he's a brand.
So while you look at these people as like people, which they are, not only are they a person, but their name is their company, and their company is what's bringing them money. They're employing people through their brand and them, basically.
Exactly. So, long story short, being an influencer is not easy. And if you
No.
think that it is, oh my gosh, you are in for a rude awakening if you think that you're going to be an influencer and you're just going to blow up overnight. I have been taking my social media serious for almost 2 years. I decided in December of 2019 I was going to be serious. I gave myself all of 2020 to grow, and I did grow. I went from 200 followers on Instagram to almost 1,500 in a year and a half.
Yeah.
So, and then like TikTok, it took me a year to get almost 6,000 followers. So like, let that
Yep.
sink in. Like, that's 2,000 followers roughly, like, every quarter. Like, so like,
And to bring in a grateful note, I don't think you guys understand how happy we get. Like, we freak out. You follow us and we're losing our mind because we're so excited. That's how much work we put in. It's like our reward to know that someone enjoyed our work enough that they want to follow us.
exactly. And like, a follow for us versus a follow for like a bigger
Jaclyn Hill.
influencer, yeah, like, that's just a number to them. Like, you are a person to us. Like, you are a person to smaller influencers. Like, for a while there, anybody who followed me, until I realized that the algorithm doesn't want you to have the same number of followers that you do following, I was following anyone who followed me. And unfortunately, Instagram doesn't want you to have a similar
No.
follower count. They want you to have at least a 30% difference between how many people you follow versus how many people follow you. Because you're not an influencer if you have the same following as you do followers. And
Yeah.
so, like, once I realized that, I stopped following people. But like, on TikTok, if someone comes to my live every time I go live, I follow them.
Yep.
Yes, I've got almost 6,000 followers and I'm only following 200 people, but those 200 people that I follow, they truly are interacting on every single post that I post. They're interacting on my lives, or even if they stay for 5 minutes, they still leave a comment, they leave a like, they, share my
Yep.
videos. Like, those are the people that I want to follow.
And even as micro influencers, like, we pay attention. I have about 4 or 5 people specifically on TikTok I recognize by username, by their profile, and I will make it a point to say hi because they're constantly on our pages. Like, I think our advantage as micro influencers is how personable we actually are. We make it a point to, I know, respond to pretty much every comment that we get. We will, if you have a question, DM me, I will answer it for you. I don't care if it's supposed to be a secret. I don't care if I'm not gatekeeping anything in this industry like some people choose to do. Like, that's the difference between these large scale and micro influencers. Is if you're going to reach out to a micro influencers, we'll help you because we know what it feels like to reach out to a bigger influencer and not get that response back.
Yeah. And so I think the big takeaway from this is that when you hear the word influencer, you shouldn't think like, oh, like, they're a sellout, or oh, like, they have like all this money because they have all of this product, or whatever their niche is, whatever you're into. Hopefully, if you're listening to this podcast, you are a makeup person, you are in the beauty community world. Just like, take it easy on influencers. And if you are an aspiring influencer, just keep going, because
Yeah.
not everybody is going to be a James Charles. Not everybody is going to be a Michaela. It's going to take a lot of work, a lot of work. You're going to have sleepless nights. You're going to cry. You're going to be super happy. But in my opinion, I think it's worth it. I think that the brands that have reached out to work with me, I really enjoy them. And so um it's really fun. And right as of now, I haven't made a lot of money doing this, but the money that I have made has gone back into my craft. And like,
You keep getting better. You'll notice
yeah,
that you keep going, you meet new people. I met Britt through TikTok. You
yeah,
meet great people. Honestly, if you want to do it because you love it, do it.
yeah.
If you want to do it because you want to make money, that's not the play for you. It's gonna be a lot harder than you think. But
And
just
people
know you
know.
need to invest, and you need to invest your money and your time into getting better.
And if you're doing it for the money or the free makeup, people know. Like
People
people,
do know. People know, because like, again, we're not hopping on our story and like, buy this, you need this, because we know what it's like. We can't buy all the things that we want to buy. Like, we're
yeah,
picking and choosing, so we're not going to recommend you something that doesn't work for us. However, again, this is a pro. We're seeing more big brands starting to work with micro influencers because their engagement and their personability with their followers are way better.
yep.
So it's just kind of, it's ever changing. We're always constantly learning. Not only are we makeup artists, we're learning the business side of it. We're learning how to monetize. We're marketing. We are doing 10 jobs in one by ourselves and just trying to do our best.
Yes. So, you guys, that is the end of episode 2 of the Beauty Sit Down. And if you are not already following us on all of our platforms, so wherever you listen to your podcast, make sure you do. Also, leave us a review. Let us know what you think. Let us know what you want to hear next. Also, follow us over on YouTube if you want to see our faces and put faces to the voice, as well
Yes.
as follow us on TikTok and Instagram. All of our social media is linked in our description as well. It is our name, so it's the Beauty Sit Down. So if you
And
like us,
please leave a comment. Let us know your thoughts. If you have any questions, you can DM either of us or on our Instagram page or wherever. We will answer your questions. And we just want to hear from you.
yes. So until next week, you guys, we will catch you on our next podcast. So
Yes.
peace out.
Bye, guys.